Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered! Today it's going to be a match between Larva and Shoutcasts here on Gladiator 1.1. We have cast a game on this recently, but if you haven't seen it, this is a very, very interesting map. Okay, so top left, we have the white Zerg player. It is going to be Larva playing under his adult rabbit name. And on the right side of the map, we have a green Protoss player, Shoutcasts. I have no idea who this is. The Smurf list doesn't know who it is. Liquipedia doesn't know who it is. So if you know who it is, let me know in the comments, and I will change the title to reflect it appropriately. This is bonkers. This map is so weird for player versus player. Otherwise known as ladder. Anyway, yeah, man, look. It's like there are bases everywhere. I don't even know how many... Is it a 4-player map? I feel like it's a 4-player map with expansions all around the outside, little mineral ones on the inside too, a little bit if you want that kind of a thing. And then in the middle, the holy grail of double extractor, lots of minerals, but very exposed and able to be attacked by all sides here. I kind of want to cast a free-for-all on this map and see what happens. That said, I'm really trying to find more team games for you guys as we get the pool first. That, by golly, was a 9-pool. 9-pool there out of Larva. No hatch first for him today. It's a really huge map, man. Where are you going to go with these lings? Shoutcasts throwing up. Yeah, he's going to wall here, because this technically leads into your natural, but you just got to worry about the smallest point and wall that off instead. So yeah, you got expansions everywhere. It's a huge map. You can ninja real easy. You got wide open ramps and areas. Really hard to kind of choke off a Zerg player in this map. So I think Larva's going to have a pretty good time with this. And before we forget, boop, boop, Fog of War back on. Some of you guys really want it on. Some of you guys don't care if it's on or not. You do not give a care at all. So Probe comes in and says, pool first. Pool first opening. There's your hatch. It's not like a 1-baser here from Larva or anything weird like that. But preparing adequately is now the first thing on Shoutcasts' mind. He went forward to expand anyway, so his first cannon's coming up, and he will be just fine against anything that comes and tries to kill him soon, as there are some lings out, but it's not like Larva made 8 lings or anything. He made 1 pair, and he's making another pair, and he's going to see what he can do here, but man, this cannon's going to have a wonderful time wrecking any lings that get too close to this thing. Further walling attempted here from Shoutcasts. Again, I don't know who this dude is, but his APM right now is 440. So he's playing fast, and he's playing against Larva, and Larva is taking him seriously. So this can't be a scrub, obviously. But I don't know who it is. I did some Googlings, man. Google did not help me at all. There are too many Smurf names in the Brood War community. Like, don't at me. But seriously, there are so many names players go by. If you do a quick Google search for me after this game, search for Brood War Smurf list. And you will see every pro player has like 10 Smurf names they go by. Or at least 5. It's insane. And I understand. You want to be able to ladder. You want to be able to play against people and not have them know who you are. And I totally understand that. But man alive, it makes it hard to cast these things. Anywho, Overlord scouting in to see what's going on. We've got our remastered Nexus here. Somebody asked how you get this. You pre-order StarCraft Remastered. You go back in time and do that. And you get the shiny stuff. You get the crazy looking hatchery here. You get the cool looking command center, and the Nexus is blue and glowy. Although somebody said they did that and they don't have it, so I unfortunately don't know. That's how it's supposed to work. If it's not, probably contact Blizzard support. Third base from Larva. So yeah, he made the lings early. I don't know if he was planning on being aggressive with them at all. I love how the probe is still alive over here. It's another sign that Shoutcasts is a good player. The fact that this probe is totally alive and has shields. And is going to be alive until Metabolic Boost is done, and it's not anywhere close to being done. Look at these jukes! Look at this probe. Yeah, exact same speed as these lings. The lings might be a little bit faster without their speed upgrade, but just it's insane. Uh-oh. What happened to the jukes? He wants to get in here and scout the saturation on the natural base first. Oh, that drone. Man, this probe control, again, whoever this is, they are a serious good player. Because this probe would be dead in the hands of a lesser Protoss. Dead. dead 18 times over by this point. It would have not have scattered anything. It wouldn't have seen the lings. It would have seen additional lings coming out, that's for sure. I'm not sure if this probe even saw that, to be honest with you. Oh, man. I don't know if you're ready for this many lings. This probe does get sniped off there. So eventually it goes down, but again, it stayed alive way longer than it had any right to. And this is a lot of pressure out of Larva. So holding the line with the Zealots. Bringing some probes in if necessary. The cannon doing work back there too. And I just think this is a bit of a mistake for Larva. You're not getting through this. These should be drones. You should have saturated your third base already, basically. With additional drones here, you should be teching up to things like a lair. The fact that there's a spire coming up means he does have a lair, and in fact it's over here, which was scouted. So he is going for Mutalisks, but the Corsair count is already starting to increase, and by that I mean I think there's one on the field. But one Corsair can do pretty darn well as far as hunting down Overlords and scouting and saying, it is actually Mutalisk that are on the way. That said, we don't have the second gas, so in that fact, it's just going to be Scourge. Just going to be Scourge to keep this Corsair alive at this stage. I was thinking the second gas would have been taken by now, but nope. Definitely not any kind of a Mutalisk play here from Larva at this point. And again, the Corsair is fairly standard. And as a result, Mutas just are not a good opening versus Protoss in the current meta. So, look at that. Overlord dies. Does supply block Larva? Unfortunately, I really feel like that should not be the case. He should be more prepared for this. But Scourger on the way. 2 pairs of them. Lings do have something of a contain, although if those Zealots moved out, the Lings would die. But it would leave the door open for the Lings to run past. So, the Zealots are kind of stuck where they are until other stuff happens. Templar Archives. Is it going to be DT Corsair? Have we seen this recently? I know it's an awesome thing, but we haven't seen it recently. That's got to be what it is, right? What's your production tab say? Dark Templar. Oh my gosh, it is Muta. So we are seeing 5 Mutalisks in production. The problem is Corsairs are still consistently being pumped right now, and they're so stupid good against the Mutalisks with the splash damage and the high fire rate and the and the deaths and the mew mew mews. Pew pew. Third base under attack, as is tradition in this matchup, which is why you want Sunkens, although there aren't any here yet. Oh, this is a problem for Larva. Lings are coming in to try to shut this thing down and buy time for the Sunkens to get up. And you know what they do? Nice job, Zerglings. You did serve a decent purpose after all, besides just telling yourself you're containing the Protoss on 2 base, which I guess technically you kinda were. Corsair, that is it. Look at this count of Corsairs, 4 of them. There are 4 of them. Generally, you want Hydra in this situation, and we don't have a Hydralisk then. We, in fact, have Mutalisks who are way down here trying to do stuff, but it's the wrong time to be trying to do stuff. Dark Templar in here hacking away. No, what was the detection? Oh, this Overlord was spotting. Dang. That was not good Dark Templar control. I can tell you that much. Oh, the Corsairs. No, catching one of them with the Scourge. Another one goes down. Again, if you're outnumbered by Mutalisks 5-1, you will die to Mutalisks, even if you're Magic Corsairs. All right. But the Muta Harass doing some pretty decent stuff right now. They are really not even injured at all at this point in the game. Corsair getting some nice splash damage out on this thing. Oh, they're trying to pick off the Archon, but at the same time taking some serious damage right now. They are stacked up to deal with the Archon, and they do get the Archon. They take some hits, but the HP was worth it to kill that Archon. Well done. Well done indeed. All right, so Zealots on the low ground. I don't know. I don't even know what that even means. More and more Corsairs in production. I guess once you see those Mutas, you want those guys. Oh, Dragoons would be pretty good too. Just Mutas aren't very good against Dragoons. And if you can keep the Corsairs alive with the cannon support, this is pretty intense stuff though. This is Sao Yung basically on his back foot right now. He can't expand with these Mutas out. They're going to cause major problems for any attempt to get a 3rd Nexus. The good news is that Larva is not expanding behind it, but he is going for Hydralisks. He's going for range as well as the +1 upgrade for that missile attack and droning up like a crazy person, making 9 drones at a time. Free Zealots. These Mutalisks are taking shots. Okay, they're taking hits, but none of them have died so far. That is really, really great control from Adult Rabbit here. Wabam, wabam. Cannons getting free shots off, but not killing anything. Meanwhile, back in Zergville, he's finally taking his 3rd extractor at his 3rd base. He's got that Hydralisk Den, brum, 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 upgrading stuff here. The Mutas dancing around, trying to pick off as many Zealots as they can, which is going to be a couple, right? Oh, target fire on the Scourge. Okay, that kind of worked, but not really. And now the Mutas might be in trouble, actually. Oh my gosh, they are. They're trying to split off, but the Corsair group got too big, too fast, and all the Mutas died. They didn't have to die there. You could have kept the Mutas alive. The Hydralisks were going to replace them. I guess this Muta does technically, he lives. He has 1 kill. He's very happy about that. So the Hydras are your answer here. The Hydras are going to be fast. They're going to have good range, but the answer to the Hydras for Protoss is High Templar, who are already here, and in fact, Storm is almost done on that research. Larva working on Lurker aspect. He is supply blocked. Lings cruising out across the map. Zealots killing some Zerglings here too. It's going to be Ling, Hydra, Lurker play, which I kind of really like, and Storm's going to be the answer to all of it. As really, it's the answer for Zerg in general. If you're a Protoss player, third base does warp in here along the right side. As Xiaoyong did start up or expanding earlier than I expected him to. Taking a 4th hatch at the minerals. Only expansion is Larva here. Zealots moving out, man. They've got +2 attack. They are pretty serious business versus these Lings that don't have any upgrades at all. Oh, they got a High Templar, though. Nice pickoff. Nice control by Larva. What a great player he is. He's seriously great macro, great control most of the time. I worry about him versus all of these Zealots, though. Man, the Scourger, like, what are we supposed to do? I don't know. Where's the Storm? Great Storm. Great use of Storm there to the south. The Storm to the north would be pretty great as well. You have the energy for it. You don't either. Did you already throw it down? Yeah, 3 kills to the north there as well, but not enough. Not enough at all for Xiaoyong to make this thing happen. The Lurkers are here, which means that the Zealots need to get out. Lurkers are really pretty great against Zealots. The Zealots with armor and Zealots coming in to get rid of Lurkers when there's Dark Swarm coming up. That is a different thing. But in general, they don't want to engage unless they have to. Hive Tech on the way now from Larva. Our Protoss player is working on an observatory, getting Kadaran Amulet, and Singularity Charge in preparation for all of the Lurkers he's going to have to deal with. Yeah, Dragoon range is a pretty big deal in the situation. So 10 Lings, 13 pairs of Lings at a time right now out of Rabbit. That's a lot of Zerglings, man. Does he have the drop upgrade? What are these Overlords doing? Heading down to the corner, I guess. The Corsair group is going to massacre all of them, though. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. All right, well, this Overlord's toast, at least. Takes so many shots. Is it 42, 40-something kills to kill an Overlord? It's a lot. I don't know what these guys are doing. I assume they're scouting, but they're also entirely sacrificial here. Larva's going to get supply blocked for the 3rd or 4th time in this game. Zealots are trying to wander up to the 3rd base, walking past Lurkers in the process, and they're going to try to get right up here. They have the +2 attack. The Lings are trying to buy time once again, but there's one sunken present here. Ling Hydra in a defensive position is not going to be very good. So many Overlords dying. That means that Larva can't produce units to try to save the day here. His production tab. Oh, now he is. He did make additional Overlords to compensate. And the Zealots are getting stuff done here on the left side, but not as much as they wanted to. I'm not sure that many drones died there actually at all. But they took a bunch of Lings with them. That sunken colony is still alive and looking pretty strong indeed. However, it is 150 to 118 supply in favor of Xiaoyong. This guy is on fire economically right now. Macro on fire right now. He has the perfect composition versus what Larva is working on. He has the Storm. He has Dragoons with range. Are we going to see any Defilers? The Defiler mound is not done yet. Larva might be in trouble, as he doesn't have anything to stop this onslaught but Hydraling. And you know what? The Dragoons are going to do pretty well. The High Templar cruising in here late are going to do pretty darn well as well. Boy, a lot of these Lurkers are going down here, getting target fired at the very least. Ling's trying to wrap around the other side. No! Get stormed down. Keeping this High Templar alive. Great job by him there. The Hydras are getting whittled down, but so many Lings cruising in on ear. Forced to storm his own units a little bit to keep them alive. Zergling versus Dragoon is a Zergling's dream. They love being useful against Dragoons and High Templar in most situations, and the Ling count actually look like it's going to be enough to shove this away. Additional Zealots are here, though. Zealots are the answer to the Lings. I see it as buying time. I feel like he's just buying time for Defilers, but I don't see any in the production tab. at all. 144 to 83 supply right now. Scourge do take down an an Observer. Okay, that's pretty good, but there are 2 more in reserve if you want to bring those up to deal with ye old lurkers. Oh, there are Overlords. Bad rally. Bad. Why did he bring them over? I guess he brought them over in case there were Dark Templar in the group, but that's too many Overlords. I guess also to spot Observers too, but it seems like you just brought too many over. And now he's pulling them back. 138 to 85 supply. 3 Basin, 4 Basin Protoss now to a 4, technically 5 basing Zerg. It's a pretty darn good position for the Protoss to be in. He does have +3 attack in all of his guys. If the Lings have any upgrades at all, they have +1 ground carapace. And the Hydras are sitting on +2 attack and +1 armor, so that's okay. That poor Corsair. Don't know what that's all about, but again, a 50 supply lead here for Cao Yung. Look at the supply. Working on a robotics bake. Probably going to see some Reavers here. That is making some Dark Templar. And some shuttles for some shenanigans. Larva has managed to take a 6th base down along this left side. Or 5th base, rather. Counting is hard. But it's going to die to all of these +3 fast Zealots. Yeah, there that goes. 172 to 111. This is just some pro level PvZ, which again, not a super surprise. Obviously, if you're playing Larva in this position, you're pretty decent at StarCraft. But yeah, 164 supply. He has a massive, massive lead. He has the composition that he needs. He's working on Reavers now. Working on shuttle speed. Yep, Gravitic Drive is the upgrade there. Took down one of Larva's expansions. Didn't lose anything of his own. And Larva, since that early Ling pressure, has just been on the back foot the entire time. And this is how you handle Zerg. It's keep the pressure running here. Look at these Lings tearing through. Getting torn through these Zealots. God. The Lurkers come and chase them away, but I mean, that's just free Zerglings, man. These guys have kills on them. Let me tell you that much. 4 kills, 3 kills, 8 kills on that one. These Zealots are heroes of ire. Each one of them will receive medals upon their return home. Or if they die and are put into a Dragoon, they'll receive the medal then. I assume that's how it works, right? Awards are... they just transfer over to the Dragoon after the Zealot dies. At least it kind of worked for Phoenix anyway. Man, those Lurkers stabbing through. Observers getting picked off along the left side. That is some pretty fantastic stuff, but... is there enough detection here? He has to storm the... wow, he's got to storm the Lurkers blind. Which is not that hard to do. You can see where the spines are coming from. Ooh, free Defiler. Is that a Plague Defiler, though? I don't know what that Defiler is going to try to do. That's what I'm worried about. Oh, look at these Lings taking the long way around here. Do they have a Defiler with them? Is there a Defiler in that Overlord? There's not. There is not, but I don't think that's enough cannons for this many Zerglings. Yeah, these cannons are toast. They don't benefit from upgrades, except for shields, which I don't think we have any of those at this stage in the game. We definitely don't, but Defensive Reaver, watch this action. So many Lings die there. Oh, that was amazing. 7 kills. 7 kills on 1 Scarab hit. 100 damage on that thing. On the splash. Splash on that thing. Hydras die. Zerglings die. Lurkers take serious damage too. Even Ultralisks don't like getting hit by Scarabs, and really, who can blame them? I like the presence, the Overlord presence down here. For Larva, just trying to see what's up. Minor engagement up here at the top, kind of pushing into Cao Yung, but he doesn't have all of his forces. Once again, storming where he knows Lurkers are and taking them down to very, very low HP. 4 HP on that one. Good storm. There we go. Gets it. And some Hydra collateral damage there, too. Nice storm on that left side. Nice plague coming down on the Protoss units. I mean, again, I feel like Cao Yung's going to win this game, but Larva fighting. Larva using the spells that are going to make this happen. But Archons are starting to get in the mix now, too. Is he working on the Archon transition? Which is what you want to do here. Once you start seeing the Dark Swarm and the Lurkers and the Hydra, or not many Hydras, right? Because you stop making Hydras because there are so many Reavers and stuff out. Then you go for Archons, and the Archons do a fantastic job against most of the stuff you see on the screen here, honestly. We'll see. We'll see if it works out, if he's going for more of those or not. Production tab seems to indicate he's working on, upgrade to Reaver damage. Scarab damage in particular. 125 with that upgrade. Thank you very much. Yeah, man. Zealots don't care about your Dark Swarm. You're going to surround that Defiler and take it down. Another plague happens on all of these Protoss units, though. A lot of these dudes are red. A lot of these dudes are not very happy about being red either. It means you're squishier when the Lings come running into town. Yeah, I think Larva needs this base, but I don't know if he can save it. The army's moving down to try to get there, or perhaps just protect his third, which is still a good source of income for him. Going for the flank attack, but there are too many Zealots and Archons here for this to really work. The Dragoons are utterly useless, but the Storms are very, very good. The Reaver's getting the mix here too. Wow, what a shellacking in that situation. Everybody comes out of the Dark Swarm smelling like roses for Cao Yung. And he continues on his way. He's like, yeah, that was a nice attempt. Try to waylay me, why don't you? This Archon's going to come out of there and I think just end up dead anyway. Yeah. Rough stuff for you there, buddy. Yep, forces a cancel on that base. This is the beginning of the end for Larva. There's nowhere for him to go. He's working on Metasynaptic Node for Defiler Energy. He's working on additional lurkers here, but there are DTs in the mix for Cao Yung. I don't know if he's going to make a Dark Archon for us. That'd be kind of fun, but it's been a while since we've seen one. I think we're a little bit spoiled for that, honestly, over the last 6 months or so. More than I ever expected we'd see on the channel. For sure. Another Ling Hydra attack down here at the third. Gonna get some stuff done maybe, but maybe that's just too many cannons. That might just be way too many cannons. Yeah, man, everywhere. Every time we see one of these battles, it is just Cao Yung crushing through, winning handily, taking plagues, but you really can't avoid those for the most part. Larva did manage to take a base down here at the 6 o'clock position, but a Zealot has already found it. And already has 5 kills, by the way. That's probably from previous battles. Cao Yung is taking a 5th base at the 12 o'clock position. Not too far away from the Zerg, which makes me a little bit nervous for stuff like... Oh, wow, what a save. What a save on that shuttle. Archons picking those... wow, Scourge out of the sky. My brain wanted to say Scarabs so bad, but that's not what they are. Scarabs that could fly. Can you imagine? Can you imagine the shenanigans that would ensue? Another engagement here. It's always bigger numbers for Cao Yung, and it's always better upgrades for him too. I mean, it's 3-2, which is nice for the Zerg, but it's 3-1-1 across the board here for the Zealots. We've got a lot of splash damage. Everything is higher tier for Cao Yung's army. This isn't a win for Larva, so that's definitely what you want here. This base under attack a little bit. Storms come rolling in, definitely jumping on those High Templar. Trying to take them down, but the Zealots fighting as they can, but more Hydras coming on in. Hydraling pretty good against Zealot. A lot of these probes going down here too. And wow, Larva actually getting some damage done here while holding onto this base down here in the south with a lot of lurkers and Zerglings too, but more and more Archons getting added into the mix. We can see it all the time from Cao Yung. He's got more and more of those. We really need to see a requisite increase in Hydralisks for Adult Rabbit there, also known as Larva. And you know what? Larva's actually caught up here. 162 to 160 or 165 total supply. Larva's lost a lot more, for sure, in resources and total units lost, but he's been able to hold on to this base for a while now, which is hugely important. He's been able to tech up to the Defilers that he needs for that plague, and suddenly he's right neck and neck with Cao Yung. The question is, does he have the right composition versus all of these Archons? And the answer is, I don't see a lot of Hydra. It's a lot of Lurkers and a lot of Lings, both of which are not that great against Archons in general. Is this an Observer? Oh, it's a shuttle swinging on in. Trying to do a bit of a storm drop, but there are so many Lurkers. Okay, decent storm there. The High Templar dies in the process, but good storm drop regardless. Oh, the Scourge are here. Unload. Unload. Nice juking. And unload. And unload. He gets the unload. He gets the storm. And ends up dead. Maybe not any additional kills, but at least he got out of there. That's pretty good stuff. And check this out. Xiao Young back up to 90 supply. The Archons are here. The Reavers are here. These Lurkers aren't even burrowed. Get him out of there, Larva. And he does. The reaction time's a little bit slow, but he gets there. And he does burrow. Observers are over here. The Archons are ready to rock those. Scourge cruising on in. But no, they all die to the Archons. Oh, the Archons are just masterful right now. Storm down south. Dark Swarm coming up here too. Lings swinging in. That is not what you want versus these +3 Archons. I can tell you this much. So many Lurkers dying. 144 to 114 supply. Larva is losing it right now. Look at these macro hatches kind of in the middle of nowhere for Larva. I sort of like it. But yeah, I mean, everything that's coming through here is getting wrecked by Reavers, getting wrecked by Archons too. In production, additional Zealots. Larva's down to 100 supply right now. A nice plague going down. Again, keep sneaking plagues in when I don't expect them. Scourge flying and do take out the Observers. I'm not sure if there are any more remaining, but there aren't any Lurkers either, so it doesn't really matter. And again, your plague doesn't really matter at all to these Archons. I can tell you this much. Oh, there is an Observer. He gets plagued. Doesn't really care. Doesn't have a lot of HP for that anyway. 141 to 84 supply. Ling's trying to come up and deal with this. They do get a Reaver or two. That is some pretty decent micro. This one, too, getting focused down. Dark Templar in the mix. Oh! He ends up going down to a Hydralisk, who then gets killed by the Archons. Again, the Archons are the MVP, and that is your good game. Larva taps out. And Xiao Young is your winner here in, what, 26 minutes and 21 seconds. Yeah, major factor in this victory is that Xiao Young never lost a base. Didn't lose his natural, never lost his third. His fourth got harassed a little bit, but the Nexus stayed, and his fifth was up. Super happy the whole time. He delayed Larva's expansion down here to the south by quite a bit. Larva eventually got there, but not in time. Not in time to deal with the onslaught. That was +3 attack Archons with +2 shields to support of High Templar, a ton of Zealots with that +3 attack, doing its 24 damage per hit. Nom, 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 nom. Just chomping through those Zerglings especially, and even Hydras if they needed to. So yeah, fantastic back and forth game there. Larva's APM about 300 throughout the match. I guess we'll see the average here in just a second, but overall, well done. He responded to the Muta harass very well. Xiao Young here responded to Ling harass pretty excellently too, and just was able to push out, keep Larva on his back foot for most of the game. Pushing on his third, pushing towards the middle. Every time there's engagement in the middle of the map, again, even though it's wide open, there's a lot of area for Zerg to work with. Xiao Young just keeping his stuff close, throwing down storms exactly when he needed to, getting the Archons out there. Dragoons focusing down Lurkers when there are tons of Lurkers to hit. And he just played a very, very, very good Protoss game. Again, I'd like to know who this player is, so if you can help me with that, I'd really appreciate it. All right, so let's go ahead and check out the final score here as always. 210,000 for the Protoss, 198 for Larva. And yeah, look at this. Look at the units killed. 748 Zerg units killed. 922 produced by Larva. That is exactly what Larva is here for. He's here for the macro. He can also obviously use Dark Swarm and Plague Defiler stuff very, very well, but it's not what he's all about. Oh, structures don't really tell us anything here, and yeah, kind of a mixed bag on this one. Xiao Young did mine more gas and did end up spending a little bit less, about 3,000 less than Larva here. Larva also mined more minerals by quite a bit. So he had the additional resources, but this is the story, is he was only able to kill 200 units. Xiao Young only made 283, so he only had 83 at the end of the game there. I think his macro kind of fell off a little bit towards the end. He was kind of really focusing on micro on the front, but it was enough to get the win. So, I mean, you don't have to have a huge army if you win with what you got, right? Right. All right, fantastic. That's going to be it from me. This has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Go ahead and hit that like button. Hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.